What the fuck is going on, y'all? Pickpocket Podcast, Long Live Sway. I am joined by my special guest, Faraj, my boy from Cali. Hey, I wouldn't put somebody on this channel who don't know their shit about MMA. So we're gonna talk UFC 315, UFC Montreal, whatever you want to call it. But Faraj, if you want to just introduce yourself real quick.
Uh, hey, shout out my boy Bart, Long Live Sway. We here just to break down some fights. I'm just the guy who likes to, watch fights, MMA. I've been on the channel a couple times just in the background, but hey man, let's make some money this weekend. That's what it's all about, right?
Hey, real shit. And day one supporter, y'all, from the jump, you know. Sway talked to Faraj a couple times, so I felt comfortable including him in the channel. All right, man. Let's get started. Top down or yeah, top down. We got Bilal fucking Muhammad. Let's see if we could do the share screen. We're gonna do a share screen just so I have Tapology up in the background. Man, and yeah, dude, fucking UFC 315. What do you think about the main card in general? I think losing the BSD fight, even though he's still fighting, he got like a short notice opponent. I think it's still a tough. It's not the best card.
Well, I'll be honest. The guy he's fighting, Kyle. What is it? Propolik is the guy I know the least about on this card. I have never heard of this guy. I've never seen him on the regional scene. I know he's fought for a couple. I don't know if he's been fighting only in the Canadian region, but I've literally never heard of this guy until this moment.
It's a fun fact. This is not his UFC debut. He was just on the Canadian regional scene, but he was just killing it there up in Canada, up in the Great White North, and honestly, yeah, never heard of the guy before either. But man, let's
And he
get
fought Austin Hubbard apparently, which is
yeah.
kind of a decent name.
He had a previous UFC stint. I don't know, Benoit Saint Denis. He needs to get back on the horse, but we'll get started top down with Bilal Muhammad. Man, you know what, bro? I gotta tell you this because it's relevant to the video. Today, I drove right by Valley Flow Striking on my way to work. Drive by it every day. It's fucking
Really?
5 minutes from my job, dude. Man,
So wait, are you really on the Bilal side? Let's just get the main card started, right? Are you really on the Bilal side?
I am 100%. I am. I am on the Bilal side indeed, my friend. I am 100% on the Bilal side. I've watched a couple of Jack's fights back. He has very good boxing, right? Like I can't argue that. He has better boxing than Bilal, but he honestly his takedown defense is so bad. It's not like Gilbert Burns is a world class wrestler. He was taking him down to fucking ease, you know, and it was some tough scrambles for JDM, but he was able to work out of him. But the way I see Bilal Muhammad, he took that fucking Gilbert Burns fight and he smoked Gilbert, which I did not expect at all. Um, yeah, it seems like JDM has a bigger weight cut. He's weighing in at 186 right now, walking around weight. And I know Bilal's not walking around at 169, but I don't think he has too hellish of a cut. What's your thoughts on this fight, man?
I had Bilal versus Leon easy. That was like the easiest money I've ever made in my life.
I did not. I had Leon. I thought he was gonna.
That was literally like Leon. Leon has showed that he's not a guy who is at the gym early or who leaves the gym late.
Uh-uh.
He's just there to train.
Bare
You know what I
minimum.
mean?
Bare.
Exactly.
He's just there to collect the paycheck. And to be fair, he is one of the most talented welterweights in the planet. But he doesn't have that. once he got that title, I think it was just enough for him. You know what I mean? He knew,
Usman was. I was what? Come on, man. You already know what side I'm on and all this. So
yeah, I
you
already
know, Usman won that first fight. It was a lucky headshot, and I
agree.
love the back and I love the back and forth between him and Bilal right now. I should say Usman. Uh, from the podcast that they haven't released, then they're going back and forth and all this. Him versus Buckley, it's a lot of people are leaning Buckley, and I just don't see it being that easy for Buck to deal with a veteran like this. You know what I mean? But maybe I'm biased. I'm definitely biased.
Man,
Back to this fight.
man, bro, hold on. Side note, I am not on Joaquin Buckley, and what you know the odds are up top of your head for that fight yet?
I
It's
think Buckley's a
far away.
-2, maybe something favorite. He's a minus something favorite. I might be able to pull it up.
Usman, I mean, I'll take the I think the only way Usman loses that fight is if he gets knocked out, and
It's a lot of hype around Buckley because he's so dynamic. But the thing is, I honestly I don't like this fight because I'm a fan of Buckley too. I mean, I had money on him by knockout versus Stephen Thompson, and I love Stephen Thompson too. But I mean, that was just like, yo, what if he gets one shot in though? You know what I mean?
right.
Yeah. But I just don't know. Uh, let me see the odds. The odds right now we got them at. They actually don't even have them available on my side.
Let me see if I can get something up for the. Well, back to this fight for now.
Yeah.
You
Hmm.
got minus 185 on the fucking on Bilal
And
Muhammad,
below. Hmm.
and then you got plus 154 on JDM. I I'm gonna look at DraftKings to see what they're talking about with this fight, and they have the line set at so minus 192 for Bilal, plus 160 for Jack. A minus 5.5 is plus 120 for Bilal,
I
and a
got I
plus
got Jack plus 200 a week ago.
yeah, the odds did Bilal opened as a I want to say minus 245 favorite to Jack's plus 200, and I don't think the odds ever got better for Jack. You know what I mean? I think the odds kind of came out at like plus maybe plus 225 is the best you got him at, but that would have had to been like 4 days ago, you know?
Weeks ago or so. No, it had to be weeks ago. He's only gone down. I don't
Yeah,
think he's
yeah.
been under over 200 in the last weeks or so.
Um, I know you're on the side of Jack. 75% of the bets placed are on Bilal Muhammad on DraftKings, 25% on Jack. Um, just looking at the props, Bilal to win by decision minus 115 and Jack to win by decision plus 550. Just throwing those out there because I think if you are on the Jack side, I don't think he knocks Bilal out. I think the fight goes the distance. I mean I don't I think both guys I I mean I don't see a world in which JDM knocks Bilal out. Bilal has a pretty sturdy chin, and he's pretty good at not getting hit. You know what I mean? Like just looking at the significant strikes, he's landing 4.39 per minute and absorbing 3.48. So he's basically landing one more strike than he is taking per minute, and 43% on his significant strikes, 57% defense. 57% defense isn't bad. And man, Bilal, our guy Bilal, he averages 2.28 takedowns per 15 minutes with a 40% takedown accuracy. That means he's gonna keep going for it. It's kind of like a Marab style. But Bilal also has good boxing, in my opinion.
Let's not be so quick to make these kind of comparisons. Let's not be so quick.
So
Uh,
yeah, yeah. I mean, Marab is a bad comparison. Like, I don't know if I'm trying to think of like a Ankalaev, but I mean, Ankalaev is better kickboxer than Bilal is. I, I'm not so. I'm all. I'm. I think the fight goes the distance. If I'm a betting man, I'm on over 4.5 all day. I'm on the fight to go the distance. Um, do I think Jack? can have his moments and knock Bilal down, yes, my confidence level in Bilal is like 70 to 75% here. I think the odds are right following what he did to Leon, but we saw Leon just completely fold against Sean Brady. We saw JDM completely not fold against Gilbert Burns at UFC 299. Yeah, that was in Miami. Um, and that was his last fight. That's a
I really want to see that's the fight that I really want to see the weigh-ins tomorrow. I
right.
really win. That's gonna say a lot. I need to see how Jack looks because this is the thing. Bilal is gonna out cardio him for sure.
Mhm. Yeah.
But if he can dominate, if he dominates the first and the third, maybe he loses the second, maybe Bilal recovers, right? He just needs one more of those rounds, and then it's listen at that point, come on, it's not like we're looking at a minus 250 favorite anymore. We're looking at a guy who can be pieced up and can be, you know what I mean, knocked down a few times. I think he gets a couple knockdowns. I don't think he takes advantage of the wrestling. You know what I mean? What is Bilal saying? He's saying he wants he's not going to shoot a single takedown.
They always say that shit. So you get hit in the fucking face.
So
Get hit in the face once, yeah, you're gonna be shooting for a takedown. Especially JDM. JDM has power in his hands. I mean, let's look at the resume for JDM. 17-2 as a pro. He's 7-0 in the UFC. If you count Dana White Contender Series, he's 8-0. Won a split decision. I mean, this split decision against Kevin Holland is very worrisome. That Basel Hafez, I'll give him a little break because Hafez came in on like fucking 4 days notice. He was preparing for a striker and all of a sudden got a grappler. But that Gilbert Burns fight, it was 1-1 heading into the third. I rewatched it. A lot of people say Gilbert was up 2-0. I do not believe that to be the case. I think it was 1-1, probably pretty clear. And I think JDM was looking. I mean, he was getting out. I mean, he was losing that third round. He hit Gilbert with a pretty fucking lucky knee. Some bad fight IQ on the side of Gilbert Burns more than anything, I think, in that fight. But damn, some of these wins are impressive, bro. Ange Lusa, he's a fucking contender in PFL now.
and the combos he was putting together in that fight. I mean, come on, dude. That guy. That's how he shows like he's one of the best boxers in the division, maybe the best, dude. I mean, dog, he was piecing Angelusa up completely.
Yeah, that was that contender series fight. That's what welcomed him into the UFC, and then he gets wins over guys. Pete Rodriguez, don't know who that is to be honest, but once you get to that Randy Brown echelon and you got a submission there, I'm starting to be like, damn, I'm starting
And
to
you
be.
know how good Randy Brown looks now too.
Yeah, Randy Brown. Randy Brown is a tough matchup. I mean, is Randy Brown at? Am I? Did he go down to 155 or am I tripping?
I am not. I know that dude be doing the what's it called the tiny desk, like the office type podcast, which I think is really cool.
Okay.
He's at
Well,
170 right now.
170, right? Yeah.
He's
Um.
still at 170.
Uh. All right. Yeah. Jack hasn't lost yet. 12-1 when it comes to TKO. His last loss was in May of 2016. He lost his first two professional MMA fights. Had one amateur fight, and he's on the fucking 17 fight winning streak. And he's beaten the opposition early on was not bad. He's beating 3-0 guys, 3-1 guys, 4-0 guys, 7-2 guys, 7-1 guys when it comes to when he came into the UFC on the Contender Series. I'm simply leaning Bilal Muhammad because I do think the wrestling gap is way wider than the boxing gap. I think Bilal Muhammad, if he secures those takedowns and he stays out of range and just like I don't know, I see a 48-47, maybe 149-46 for Bilal. If I think if Leon Edwards is struggling to find range, you know what I mean? Against Bilal, then I don't know. Leon Edwards is one of the most technically sound strikers. Maybe he's not the most hungry fighter, but Bilal with the right game plan. And I think if he copies the game plan he had against Leon, I think he wins this fight, man. But as a betting man, I am on the side of I'm on the side of fucking fight to go to distance. I think Jack does have a good chance to win. I think he can piece up Bilal, but yeah, the wins Bilal has fucking gotten in these past fucking year and a half, 2 years, whatever. It's
I mean,
undeniable.
I don't discredit the fact that he's been training with some of the best guys in the world. You know what I mean? Him being in a Khabib camp already, and picking up so much from him in Islam. I mean, it does that does speak to his odds, but at the same time, I just don't trust. I mean, we haven't seen Bilal get knocked out. I don't think he gets knocked out. Um, but man, if Jack starts throwing that jab, man, and that jab is landing in the first 1, 2 rounds, and Bilal starts shooting some. I mean, he's gonna be shooting, but like he's not Khabib. He's not Islam. He's just Bilal. You know what I mean? So, dude, if Jack is landing that right hand, that left hand, you know what I mean?
He got good combos. It's just is he gonna be able to land them, right? 57% striking defense is not bad at all from Bilal. But official pick for me is fight to go to distance. I am on the Bilal Muhammad side. Am I a betting man on that side? Probably not. Um, yeah, but I'm a betting man on the fight to go to distance. I think this fight is the age old striker versus grappler, and we'll see who has more success and
Do you put anything on? I know you said they all say that, but you really don't put anything on Bilal saying he wants to show Canelo hands.
I mean, I think it would be dumb. I think he wants to hold on to the belt. I don't. I mean, I think he is gonna show off the hands a little bit, but like, I think he's gonna realize pretty quick that
Dog, JDM looks like the epitome of confidence right now. Through media, through everything, he's like you can tell he's like really seeing everything. Like he really
yeah,
is in the
he
moment.
is. But I also think I think JDM can be champion one day. Don't get me wrong, but he's 28. I don't think that's the prime of his career yet. I think the prime of his career will be the lessons he learns from this fucking fight. You know what I mean? Everything that if he loses this fight, everything that lost him this fight, I don't think he gets finished. He's gonna clean up and he's gonna come back 10 times better just because of inexperience. And I know he's had 8 UFC fights counting Dana White Contender Series, but being 15-3, Bilal Muhammad is in the UFC. If you count Bellator, he's 17-3. He's it's undeniable. You can't bet against him. He's the current champ, and I think the odds are right. I think Leon Edwards got dropped on his fucking head at 4 in the morning, and ever since ever since then, it's I've been a Bilal guy. He's boring, but he gets it done.
Dog, you can't do that though. You can't just let a guy out. You know what I mean? Out grapple Leon Edwards and put on a showcase against him, and then be like, you know what, guys, I'm Bilal guy now. I mean, I think Bilal is up there with Henry Cejudo for like king of cringe. Like, you know what I mean? I really think this guy is real corny. But
I mean, I think he gets more hate than like he deserves, like than is warranted. I'll say that much. I mean, he beat Sean Brady, who just killed Leon Edwards, beat Gilbert Burns, in which he was a big ass underdog in that fight, beat Vicente Luque, beat Stephen Thompson. Like I know he's not doing it in the best fashion, but his last loss came January 19th, 2019, bro. So the man is not used to losing. He's a winner. He's got He hasn't lost
He's on 11 fight. What's his win streak right now? Well, what is it like?
10,
Three,
10,
four,
10,
five.
10,
Uh,
10 fight win streak, and then you got a and I mean and then you got that eye poke with Leon in 2021. So 11 fight unbeaten streak. But yeah,
yeah, exactly. That's what they've been saying.
my pick is I know you're on JDM. I think he gets the combinations going. If you had to guess, how does JDM do it?
I don't see him knocking out Bilal, but I see him winning more rounds than him. I see him winning round one. I think Bilal does some changes. Round two is going to be close. Round three, JDM is going to get again, and then round four and five, I can't predict because these are championship rounds. But both these guys are fairly new to it. You know, what I mean, Dilla obviously is extremely new to it, but but this is Bilal's first title defense. But let's get to the people's main event, shall we?
The people, I mean, shit. I think it would have been BSD and Joel Alvarez, but all
I
right, we
would.
got Valentina Shevchenko, future Hall of Famer. She is 3-1-1 in her last five. Showing up as a slight favorite on Tapology, but currently plus 105 odds on DraftKings. Taking on the challenger Manon Fiorot, 5 fight win streak, or maybe more than a 5 fight win streak, but she is winning her fights, and ever since she came to the UFC, she has been pretty much dominant. I think we all know who our boy Faraj is going with here, but interesting, bro. Fighting out of Lima, Peru for for uh for Valentina. What's that about? You know anything about that?
I'm not a. I didn't know about that. All I know is Kyrgyzstan. I've never known her to fight out of Peru before.
Yeah, right. I didn't know. Maybe she moved out there. I don't know. Um, guys, we got 5-5 for Valentina, 65.5 inch reach, 5-7 for Manon Furo, 66 inch reach. Um, uh, Valentina is a pioneer of the sport. She shouldn't have had probably a third fight
Grasso.
with Grasso because that was not a draw, and I don't know in what world that was a draw, but I can't believe two fucking judges scored that a draw, or was it one judge who scored it a draw, and it just ended up being it was one judge who scored it a draw. Um, man, I think it'd be dumb to bet against Valentina as an underdog. I think Manon has power in those hands, and I think she's an exceptional boxer, but she does not utilize her kicks like Valentina utilizes her kicks. She is big. Manon is very big for 125. Um, and if she was a little younger, I would consider betting her. But she's 35 too. And Valentina's 37. And there's that stat. I don't know if it's only for men's fights, but people over 35 don't usually get that belt at the lower weight classes. So, I don't know if it applies to women. I know like the guys under welterweight are like and fucking 20 or like was some crazy thing when fighting for the belt. Valentina, I think, outclassed her. The odds here remind me of of the Tatiana Suarez and Weili fight where it just didn't make sense. But I could see why Manon Fiorot is getting. I actually don't. I could see it being a pick 'em, but I don't see Manon Fiorot being the favorite. I don't think the money's coming in on her, and if it is, why? Um, she's old. She's only had 13 MMA fights compared to 29 MMA fights for Valentina Bullet Shevchenko. I am all over the bullet here. I think if her striking doesn't work out, she will utilize her grappling. She's gotten people in fucking crucifixes before. And if you watch MMA, you know that's probably the toughest grappling position to to get on somebody, like especially like this is the highest level of women. If you're getting crucifix finished TKOs out here just recently too, Valentina is the pick. Fucking $500 play. You put your whole fucking house on that shit. I don't give a fuck. Manon has hands. I think it's gonna be a decision, or I think Valentina could, get her out of there. But Manon seems to be tough, and she's been in a couple 5-round fights. Crush, take it away. What you got here?
You know which side I'm on. I think we're gonna see another example of there's levels to this in this fight. I think this is gonna be an RDR versus bone, not in the same sense, but in the same like there's levels to this kind of situation. You know what I mean? Like
No, for sure.
levels in the experience, the people you fought for. I think fighting Grasso 3 times, you know what I mean? It's put her in that maybe kind of Figgy spot. You know what I mean? Because Figgy fought Moreno 3 times, right? At flyweight, and then he moved to bantamweight, and everyone just he was an underdog for like what his first 2 fights maybe, and he won both of those, right, or something like that. Let me just make sure
I think
I
against
know what I'm talking about.
against Garbrandt, I think he was favorite.
I mean, there were a lot of people doubting him, and it's just
I
one of those things where
I
it's
was
like,
for sure.
no, go ahead.
No, I said I was one of the people doubting him when against that and I thought Garbrandt was back against that fight. I thought it was set up for him to come back. But yeah,
I I'm trying to find Figueiredo's record, but it's my spot. So listen, man. I think that people have underestimated Valentina just because she fought Grasso 3 times.
hmm
Um, and maybe they see Manon as like maybe having a really significant edge over Grasso. I still think Grasso is extremely underrated. I do not know who wins the fight on the main event for her fight on this Saturday versus uh, Natalia Silva. Even though I'm on Natalia Silva, but it is a very close fight. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's like there's levels to this. And when you're in a camp with Diego Lopez, it's like, you're picking up so much knowledge. You've won the belt before. You fought with who I think is the greatest bantamweight sorry, I should say flyweight in UFC history at women's,
yeah,
which is Valentina. Um 3 times. There's levels to this. You know what I mean? Bo Nickel is I keep bringing up that fight because you know how much I had RDR on that fight, bro. It
yeah,
was like, bro, it was like Bo Nickel just came out of Penn State, what, like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, whatever. Dog, this guy has been fighting some of the best people in the world for years. Won the belt twice, a world championship belt twice. There's levels to this. So,
and there's levels to the gym you come from too, bro. Like I'm looking at the boxing squad and Manon Piro. I thought Cyril Gahn would be in there. Like a
oh, is there
couple.
is there any footage of her training with Fazeev? Don't let me find footage of Valentina training with Fazeev over there.
You see what man? If she's training with him, bro, she got her hands about to get faster. But yeah, I mean the even the gym, Tiger Muay Thai is an established gym. That Valentina has been a part of, I think, damn near her whole career. Um, but yeah, we're both on Valentina. Put the fucking house on it. Next fight,
It's 11 o'clock.
oh, it's 11 o'clock. Fuck. No. We got Jose Aldo, 32-9 in his career, taking on Ayman Zahabi. And I'm gonna be quick with this one. Um, I got Jose Aldo. I think he wins a decision here. Uh, 37 years old for fucking Ayman Zahabi. 38, which is probably like 41 for Jose Aldo. But he's got the 1.5 inch reach advantage here. He should have beat Mario Bautista, in my opinion. Ayman Zahabi is a really good boxer. He took out one of the Basharat brothers, but Aldo is the pick, and I don't really have much to say other than it's kind of disrespectful that this is even a fight. I think Aldo deserves much better. Maybe they're just trying to give him a win coming off that Bautista bullshit loss. But I'm on Jose Aldo here.
I agree with you, brother, all the way. I think that, you know, when Jose left the UFC the first time, it's not like he took a break. He just went and started boxing. Like this dude is 38 and has been consistently fighting MMA for the last 30 years of his key. I mean, you know what I mean? How young was he when he started? You know, there's levels to this. Amon's good. He's fought a couple good people, a couple split decisions, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Um, so
it was a
I got
split.
Jose all the way.
It was a split decision that he probably shouldn't have won against the Basharat brother. I remember watching the fight. His fucking corner would just be like, "Hey!" every time he fucking like threw a punch, not even landed one. So yeah, I'm on Aldo here, and I think minus 225 is actually a discount. What do you think? You think the odds are right?
Listen, I got a Brazil parlay going. I think I'm gonna go this. We got to move to the next fight first, though. You know what I
All right, man. Let's move on then.
mean?
Let's get this main card done, and then we're gonna go through. I'm gonna go through a prelims real quick. And we got coming up Alexa Grasso. Hey, I like that they put her on the main card here, taking on Natalia Silva. Alexa Grasso is the third ranked flyweight in the world. Natalia Silva, the fifth ranked flyweight in the world. And Natalia Silva, 28 years old, to Alexa Grasso's 31. 5-0 in her last five. Alexa Grasso 3-1 in her last five. Man, some short girls fighting off here. 5'5" to 5'4", 66-inch reach to 65-inch reach. And the community topology community is split. 53% for Silva, 47% for Grasso. I'll let you start with this one.
So I told you I'm not too sure. I'm on the Silva side. However, like I said, when you fought the greatest in the division 3 times in a row, like there's levels to this, and I think that Grasso not only has the experience of those fights, but she has one of the greatest teams in the world. She's over there with Diego Lopez. Who else is over there? Remind me. Who else we got? That's Lobo Gym. Yeah. Who else we got over there?
Diego Lopez, Alexa Grasso is
Aldana, Lupe Godinez. You know what I'm saying? Who just came off of that victory versus Polastri. You know what I mean? I
that was
think I
close
had
fight.
Polastri in the fight, but you know,
Irene
it is what it is.
Aldana.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got some good people coming out that gym for sure.
I know we've seen for some reason we've seen Lopez at every event for like last 2 weeks, and I'm like, are they just trying to show that he looks and really good? Like, what are they? Why is Diego Lopez at every fucking event since
Yeah.
he just lost from the title? But anyway,
Hey,
they're trying to keep the Lopez hype trade going, and I'm for it. I still think
hey,
he
for
just
him
stepped.
to put up a fight like that against Volk, I respect him, man. He's a good fighter.
Listen, I will never slander Volk again in my life because I did have Lopez that fight in Volk on a masterclass. He really showed why he is one of the greatest of all time.
He's pure
Uh,
heart too, man.
mhm.
I mean, it's skill and heart, but he's never gonna knock somebody out, cold. He's never gonna submit anybody. Well, he will, but like he goes off pure heart and pure skill, and sometimes he's not the more skilled fighter. I don't think he was the more
Bro,
skilled.
you can't give a backhanded compliment to one of the greatest of all time. Just say he's the GOAT and move on. You can't.
I do think he's the goat, but I don't think he was the more skilled fighter in that Lopez fight. I think Lopez was the more skilled fighter, and I think
Well, I think Lopez stepped on the gas a little too early. I think
yeah, yeah, he
he
gets
burned a lot in those first 2 rounds that he wasn't supposed to. He should have kept the distance. He should have he should have just won purely off striking in those first 2 rounds.
yeah.
But it's what it is.
Well, we coming up on we got 4 minutes left to finish up this main card. So let me hear your pick real quick, Faraj.
I'm going Silva But if Grasso puts on a show, I'm all here for it. I'll probably bet the over on this fight. I don't think I'll really. I have a line on Silva. I have a Brazil parlay going, but I will probably bet the over on this fight.
All right. I am on plus 3.5 for Alexa Grasso. I'm buying points on the judges' scorecards. Minus 140 odds right there. So if anybody wants to tail me on that, over 2.5 is minus 540, which is absolutely
I
insane.
haven't even seen those odds, so maybe I won't be. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll parlay. I'll probably parlay that with Aldo. Maybe even that too. And just as like a cover, or something for Silva, because I really do think this fight is very close.
No, for sure. And yeah, I'm on plus 3.5 Grasso here. I think she does enough to win a round here. You know what I mean? And that's probably my favorite women's MMA bet to do. Ever. This shit has cashed for me a lot. But yeah, you're on the over here. You think the fight goes the distance, and I am on the Grasso spread plus 3.5. Should be a good fight. I think it's gonna be a real entertaining women's fight. I actually think, you know, it's gonna. I mean, Silva's just good. She's so good all around, and she, like you said, she don't look too bad either.
Hey,
uh,
I didn't say nothing like that, bro. What are you talking about?
Hey, but yeah, opening up the fucking fight card, we have BSD Benoit Saint Denis coming off two losses. He lost to Dustin Poirier and lost to Renato Moicano. He's taking on Kyle Propolek, who is not. It's not his UFC debut, believe it or not. He's been on the Canadian regional scene lately. But BSD has only. This is a fight. This is a must-win fight for BSD. It's kind of working out for him. Joel Alvarez fight is a tough fight to take, and he took that fight. Luckily, Joel is out that fight. But minus 1100 can't really do anything with it. I'm picking BSD to win. Shock, big shocker.
Hey, BSD cannot afford to lose. He cannot.
Dude,
I
a
mean,
hundred
I'm.
percent of Tapology is on BSD.
That's crazy. That
I've
is
never
crazy.
seen that. Holy shit. Hey man, but we finished up the main card. We got less than a minute. I gotta upgrade the Zoom shit. But hey, I appreciate you coming on, Faraj. I fuck with the Dodgers jersey heavy, bro. I fuck, my boy coming from Cali and shit. So uh, I appreciate you coming on.
Love
Hopefully
you, dog.
these picks right. And man, maybe we'll do a little fight companion tomorrow if we ain't too busy.
Yes, sir. You know what time it is. Love you, dog. For real. Thanks for letting me be on, man. I really appreciate it.
Of course, any week, bro. Love,
All
bro.
right, bro.
I love you. Stay safe. This shit gonna close up on us sooner than later.